Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간.
Greetings, this is Bradford Townsend. It is the 29th of September 2018. I'm going to make the case today that applied mathematics is the bomb major, the penultimate, the superlative discipline, and why it's such a good course of study for a young person. Number one, people will think you are smart. Employers hire math majors, preferring them even in business over business administration, psychology, anthropology, telecommunications, economics, and the social science, and any of the studies degrees like European studies, Latin studies, Asian studies, physical education. They basically think that you can solve problems. There's so many opportunities for math majors. They generally hire, they have a job openings, and they'll have general STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, and the M in STEM is for math. There are many desirable employers. Pretty much all employers like math majors, such as the U.S. State Department. The U.S. State Department is the embassies all around the world in over 100 plus countries, and they hire math majors. If you work for the State Department or NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, you can travel around the United States and overseas. You have a steady, high-paying salary. You get health care and more than one pension. So the National Institute of Health, the National Security Agency, the U.S. Forestry Service, the Armed Forces, the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marine, they all rank math majors as a top priority for recruiting to serve as commissioned officers. They like math majors. They give you points if you're trying to be an officer in the military. Let's say you were a college athlete, but they're college majors. They want STEM, foreign languages, and a few other things. And again, it falls under that M in STEM. So you go to the top of the list. And if there's a psychology major and a math major, and you both want to be Navy pilots and get a multi-million-dollar training course, the math major will be picked over the psychology major, even with a lower GPA. Then when they run out of those majors, like mechanical engineering and math, electrical engineering, computer science, then they move down, to history, economics, and the social studies. Financial firms prefer math majors over finance, economics majors. Investment banks and commercial banks recruit math majors. You need to be able to do math in your head quickly, and transactions get more complicated all the time. And having a good foundation in math, having a math degree is a big help. Anybody who's thinking of finance would better off taking a math degree in applied math and taking a couple of electives, asking around. Like you could take one in financial economics or financial accounting. Depends on the school, and they name the courses differently, but 2 or 3 of those classes is all you need. There are not enough math teachers, which is awesome if you're a math major. You don't even need the teaching certificate, which is like extra 20 some course hours that teachers take. Uh, if you're a history major or English major, they would for sure make you take those classes and require you. But with math and physics, computer science majors, if you have degrees in those types of subjects, a lot of times they waive those requirements. So you can go to Hawaii, you can go to Vail, Colorado, Miami Beach, Florida, wherever you want to go. You can pretty much within a few minutes and a few phone calls and giving them a couple of reference numbers of like professors that you got along with when you were in school. If you're young, just getting out of school, and you can go anywhere in the United States. You can also get jobs teaching, let's say in Japan, American children whose parents are there for business, like with the State Department in the embassy, or they're with the Navy or any of the military. They all have presence in Japan, presence. And you could get a job teaching at those places as well, and live in like a country club military base environment and be able to travel out from there into Asia with all your off time. And being a teacher, you get 4 months off a year. The second is syllogism. Being smart is sexy. All mathematicians are smart. Taylor is a mathematician and sexy. In mathematics, you learn logic and good reasoning skills. And people do think you're smart if you're a math or physics major in general out there, and it's good for people to think you're smart, just like it's good to be handsome or beautiful. 3, mathematicians, analysts, and managers, executives work in heated, cooled, climate-controlled workspaces. Math folks do not have to get dirty, sunburned, uh, slimed on, eaten by mosquitoes. They don't fall off of ladders and break things. They don't bust their knuckles turning wrenches in diesel trucks. Math majors can wear business casual or suits or dresses to work and work with professionals. 4, train yourself building your character. Math courses require a strong work ethic and a healthy lifestyle. Skipping classes and cramming for midterms and finals does not work for math. There is just too much material. When you get in, when you're majoring in math and taking the more challenging classes, you might. I had times where I had 1.5, 2 full pages, small print with no diagram math problems, and maybe on step 20 of your algorithm, which is a recipe, there's something that's not intuitive and a trick that no one figured out for thousands of years, and then you learn what move that you do at that time. So, and there might be 3 of those in the problem, and you know how to set it up. So you have to do all your homework. You need to save your homework so you can review your homework. So people, you're not fooling anyone. They know math majors and engineering majors have to work hard. And you have to work hard every day and put your like 6 hours of studying in every day. And if you miss a day, you might be up all night literally trying to catch up on your work, where other majors like political science, anthropology, anything with studies on it, art appreciation classes, you can just go in for your quizzes, midterms, finals, and cram for them because there's memorization. And if you know how to write an essay and you studied the psychology of multiple choice tests, and you can look at the professor and see that he usually she favors B's or D's or all the aboves or none of the aboves by looking at past finals, and can get their pattern, and you can make probabilistic best guesses on your multiple choice, and generally, if you don't know what to do, go with C or go with B type of strategy, and put in maybe a quarter of the time. Students used to study even back in the 70s, early 80s when I was in school. If you were math or engineering, you studied about 55 hours a week. That also included labs and attending lectures. Non-engineering math, physics majors, in chemistry and biology, they have to work hard as well. Only averages about 18 to 22 hours of study time a week. So there's a big difference. And the employers, because I have been a human resources manager in recruiting and hiring in more than one substantial firm, major corporations, and they know a chemistry degree is much more challenging than, let's say, a history degree or a criminal justice law enforcement degree. Number 5, best practice thinking. Sherlock Holmes solves cases with his powers of deduction. His powers of deduction. A mathematician has additional superpowers of inference, induction, contradiction, logic, and probability. Those are just some of the ways that mathematical proofs or strategies and tactics for proving things in making a case that's rock solid in mathematics. So it really makes a difference. Just understanding exponential growth, geometric versus linear growth, compounding interest, and really grasping and understanding calculus and some other concepts is huge. Most people don't understand, the old lily pad in the lake example, where after, let's say, day number 28, the pond is half full, and then on day 29 it's completely full, and how it ramps up. So you might not have much happen until you get into like day 19 or 20, and now you're saying, oh well, this little lagoon part of the lake is filled up, and then bam, 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 the whole lake is filled up. So there's real substantial knowledge that you get with an applied mathematics degree. 6 is social. Social, it's the most social, I think, of all majors. Applied math people travel. Every time I talk to an applied math buddy or friend or family or friend of the family, they're always talking about they traveled here, they traveled there. They go to fairs and conferences, whether they're in the private sector, the government, or in academia. And when you do your homework, you almost always do it as a team with other people, because you learn. Let's say I help my friend Phil with a problem, and I do it on the whiteboard, and then that helps me redoing the problem and explaining it to him. And then when I get stuck, Phil or Robert can help me, and they benefit from the repetition of doing the problem again, thinking about it, having to explain it to someone. So, if Muhammad is able to help me with a probability problem on my homework, and then I can help him with his thermodynamics problem, it really it's a win-win for everyone, and it's fun, and you get competitive, and you don't get that out any other non-science and engineering majors. Probably you just don't have the all the time that you spend together, and you make close friendships, lifelong friendships with the people that you go through school with and spend all those hours, hundreds, thousands of hours studying together. And that's very similar to what hedge funds do. And they're looking for gifted, brilliant people, and they really favor math and physics, chemistry, all the engineering. Uh, Applied math is probably the best major, though, for going into finance. Uh, Math majors, number 7, can have fun. Uh, they can take interesting electives. Engineers can only take 2 electives outside of engineering and science. I think they even use one of those and require an economics class, like basic economics. So they basically get no choice of what you're doing. Maybe you get 3 different engineering classes having to do with analyzing circuits, but you have to take one of those 3. You can't take a film, psychology, foreign language, archery, fencing, pottery, painting. At Indiana University, Indianapolis, they have video game design, where the major is for working at its computer science, math oriented major for people who want to work for a video game company, because it's now a multi-billion-dollar business, as is the big blockbuster Marvel and DC comic superhero movies. So math really can be fun because you can take a language and do other things that it's more like all the other majors outside of engineering. Physics and chemistry, biology are also that way, where you get several electives and you could get a minor. You're at UCLA in California in film studies. Maybe if you're on the coast of Florida, at Florida Institute of Technology, and take an oceanography minor. Or if you're in Colorado, uh, maybe something to do with geology, where you get to go out and hike, or botany, uh, because you have that room. Because you take something like 40 or 50 less credits of physics and math, and you can add in more math or physics type classes, or you can jump all the way out and take a class in anthropology or pottery. um, Engineering majors, I would just say boo. Most engineers don't actually work, as an aerospace engineer, designing a wing. They just design one little tiny component. So math is nice and broad, and you can do so much with it. And most projects are team projects where you need a materials engineer, an electrical engineer, 3 different kinds of computer science majors, and so on and so forth. Well, the math major, someone with like a master's in math, the concentration in probability, statistics, can do an advanced analysis using math software. Thank you very much. I think I was persuasive, and hope the jury was unanimous in saying that applied math is the superlative college major. Cheerio.